Tierra Blanca Arts Center invites you to Semblanza 2020, October 17 and 18. Semblanza is a global virtual folk and dance festival with the participation of more than 20 countries, celebrating folk, art, tradition, and culture. Join us in our journey to Semblanza on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 6 o'clock and meet the directors and all the artists that are participating in this wonderful celebration. Semblanza 2020, presented by Tierra Blanca Arts Center. We are still on our journey to Semblanza 2020, and today, Thursday, October 8th, meet Team Scandinavia, represented by Scandian Dancers of Southern California. The Scandian Dancers of Southern California was founded in 1984. Their mission is to promote, teach, and preserve the dances and music of the Scandinavian countries, as well as the historical ties between the dances of Scandinavia and the United States. The group has performed in Scandinavia and Nordic dances in California and participated in several times in the large international festivals, both in Norway and in Finland. Welcome to Semblanza 2020. Semblanza 2020 is almost here, and we need your support. So please make your donation today. Here on Facebook in our fundraise campaign, or also visit our website, www.tierrablancaartcenter.org, and help us to bring this wonderful celebration of culture to a success. Bienvenidos.
Very good afternoon and good evening to whoever is watching a little bit after our time. It's 6 o'clock and we're starting with one more journey to Semblanza. And today, October 8th, we have the invitation and the special guest from the Scandinavia. Let me just to make sure that I say it right. The Scandian Dancers of Southern California. They're here with us. Yay! And this is going to be amazing. So please take this time to share, give us a like. Make sure you visit all the information that we have in our website, www.tierrablancaartcenter.org. You're going to see it here in our line. And also, let me bring you a special señorita who's been amazing support to Semblanza. It's not just her mom, which is great, and she is the team coordinator for Semblanza since a long time ago. But today we have her special daughter and, her daughter here with us to help us to do this beautiful interview with this group. So let's bring on board Miss Grace Vega, talent coordinator for Semblanza 2020 and 2021, and Miss Amanda Vega. She is our today. Hello, señorita.
Hello. Thank you all so much for having us today. We are so very excited to be here with you, Ms. Blanca, and also with Scandinavia in Southern California. Let's introduce our members. We have Jane and Norman Kindig, and also our leader, fearless leader, Ms. Kathy Drader.
And she's actually our Semblanza ambassador for 2020, Ms. Kathy Draper.
All right, so they're here. Yay! Welcome.
Yay! Hello, everyone.
Hi. Hello. Sorry.
Hi.
Hello.
And for those of us watching, Scandia Dance of Southern California represents our Scandinavian countries of Sweden, Norway, and Finland. Yay! So everyone, can you tell us about your costumes that you're wearing?
You want to start now? Well, the costumes that I am wearing, right, is from my ancestors.
What they are.
My ancestors the family split in 1884 to come over. And so this was a chance for me to, through dance, to be able to go to Sweden. Jean and I were married there. We met our ancestors, and my goodness, we look just alike.
That's great.
We've been over there 5 different times competing in the national dance
Wow,
Hambo. Yeah.
that's incredible.
Okay, I'm going next because Norman's and my costume, they go together. In Sweden, they're called folkdräkt, which means folk dress. And like he said, they're from the region of his ancestors, which is in Västergötland in Sweden. And we got them the year we were married, which has been like 32 years ago now. So some parts of them have been replaced and some parts really need to be replaced. They're starting to fray a bit, but we love them. There's a lot of, historical family significance to them.
Right.
Beautiful. And what about you, Kathy?
My particular costume is really related to me. My grandfather was from a different region in Sweden, but this particular costume, I just absolutely love it. I'm going to stand up a little so you can see some of it. It's just got all of this really neat embroidery, and it goes all the way to the ground in this super heavy wool, which is wonderful when you dance. It just moves beautifully. I've done some restoration on the embroidery because it had been used a lot. And so I had to do some restoration. And the fun thing, we have little goodies that hang down in the back on the hats. And part of the, with my hair this way and wearing this crown-like thing, that would be something for a younger girl to wear. The married woman would have all of her hair up, and she would have this really elaborate white starch, very stiff scarf. Part of it is I'm not real handy with that. And part of it is when we dance, there's no way that you dance with that. You need to be able to move and here under this person and over there, and it just wouldn't work. But I do absolutely love this. I want to show you the bottom of my.
Oh my God, that's beautiful.
Yeah. That's the bottom of the apron. So anyway.
That's beautiful.
There's a lot of handwork in these costumes.
Yes.
I have another scarf that is hand cross-stitched, but with COVID, I actually couldn't find it today. When I was looking for it, it got packed away someplace. But the one little piece of handwork that I could show on mine is this little purse.
Oh,
And that it's got like a clip on it that it just hooks right over the waistband of your skirt. And
very handy.
yeah.
The fanny pack.
Yes. That's
That
great.
is
I love that.
Stephanie Holtzman said we need to hear him to speak louder. So we wanted to say again one more time your costume, Norman, if you can, and speak a little louder.
The costume is a shinned costume. It comes from the region of Västergötland, which is near, in the south west part of Sweden. The what would you say? The costume again is from my ancestors. They came over. The family split, so this goes prior to that. They came over in 1884. And I've been able to, my mother researched, and then we located my third cousins who are now still living in Sweden. And so we keep in contact with them. Great culture, a very honest and open culture that I found. I want to point out something is that this is called a cravat. You'll see a lot of this from that time period in Scotland, England, and different Europeans. They wore
Yes.
cravat. But what's interesting is if you take a look at these are competition medals.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
So, and we, this one is down here, it's Kingsbury, and we've been up to Vasa Park, we've been up to Thousand Oaks, we've been, in Sweden, there's several there. And those are kind of introduction when you meet other people and they have similar ones, you have something to talk about. On the side over here is oftentimes various other dance groups that you've been associated with. No, it's kind of wearing, well, it's communication.
Yeah,
Yeah.
someone here is asking, how often do you wear these costumes? It's only when you perform or special celebrations?
Both. But we've performed in this costume, which is now falling apart, I would say close to 500 times over the last 30
Oh,
years.
wow.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
And before we go further, the Miss Stephanie Holzman, who said to speak louder, she is actually the director of this group and very director-like. She's the one that speak louder. So just, I'm glad Stephanie has joined us. But yes, I just wanted to make sure that everybody knew that. There she is.
Thank you, Stephanie.
So Stephanie, yeah, she's actually the director of the Scandia group here in Southern California. So thank you, Stephanie, for being with us and joining us.
And to our lovely dancers, can you introduce Stephanie, introduce your dance group, how you got involved in it, why you got involved in it, and what brought you to this beautiful dance team and family that you've created?
Norman should go first. He has been in the group.
I've been dancing
First.
for the last almost 50 years. I started in college,
Wow.
the international dance, survived in that, went through Westwind International Folk Dance, through Vesna Folk Dance, through Estalance Hungarian Folk Dance, and moved to California to become a federal officer at LAX, and tied in with the Scandia dancers of Southern California and also the Swedish Folk Dance Club of Los Angeles. So my history goes over international dance, and with Westwind, yes, we did Mexican dances too. International from all around the world. So the background that I have did me very well in Customs Hall, where I worked as an officer, is that I would specifically seek out those people coming from Mideast country because they have an incredibly rich embroidery culture, and it was beautiful to see the handmade stuff that would come in through. And I'm sorry to say some of my fellow officers did not understand or appreciate that artwork.
That's what happens.
And so it's sad to say, it's your exposure out and starting to understand how to work with all cultures, because we all want enjoyment and beauty in our lives. And dance is one of those things that I miss today, thanks to COVID. Right?
Yeah.
Did you start at the same time as Norman?
No, I think.
But you were before me, I'm pretty sure.
Yes. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. So one thing Norman didn't mention was he was pretty much in on the ground floor with Scandia dancers. I believe you started with them right when they started, right? Yeah. Yes. But then when I started dancing, then I met Norman. We dated for a while and we got married. And and so that's how we met, was folk dancing. And that was before I was in Scandia dancers. But then I got invited in by the director at that time, and Donna Tripp. And so that's how I got started. I was actually going to dance classes, and Donna invited me to join the Scandia dancers. And then I started being Norm's partner, and we got married. And so I haven't been in the group as long as Norman or Kathy, but I've been in for like 30. Well, when we had kids, we took a hiatus. Like when our first child turned 5 and needed to start school, we needed to start getting her to bed. And so for several years, we dropped out of Scandia, and then we just rejoined again about, I don't know, 6 or 7 years ago. So, and we brought our kids in with us.
Yes.
Okay.
What a beautiful story you have.
Thanks.
I love Story for the Ages. And Miss Kathy?
My story is close to Norman's in a way, although I was never really in a professional, performing group because they were, At any rate, I enjoyed folk dance, general folk dance, international, Balkan, and whatever, for years and years. And then Donna Tripp and Ted Martin started a Scandinavian dancing class, basically. And my husband and I joined. We started to dance, and I'd get halfway through the year, because it would go from September to June or whatever. I'd get close to Christmas. Oh God, I can't do this, and I'd go out. And then the next September, I started again, and oh, I can't do this. Out again. Third year, I finally made it through. And yeah, so that's how I got into the group. And they're always people. They are my family. They're basically my family.
Absolutely, yeah.
And then, Kathy, really quick, are you from one of the Nordic countries?
This is the funny thing about folk dancing and in general. There are so many people who enjoy the dance forms of other countries, the music, all of them, that have nothing to do with your own personal history. My grandfather came from Sweden, yes, but that's not why I'm there. I'm there for the dancing and for the music.
Yes. And that's actually something that's wonderful, doing these interviews with Semblanza. We have our ambassador from Ireland has no Irish in her. She has, I think, Polish, Argentinian, everything else, but as passionate about, she's actually one of the directors of her group. So, we understand, and that I love that about Semblanza, showing that you don't have to be born there, born in these countries to be a part of these beautiful dance teams, and that's just great. Thank you so much for sharing that. Miss Amanda or Miss Blanca? Kathy, you had something?
May I just ask one question, because we didn't talk about this before the Zoom meeting. Speaking of music, we had some videos of our friends, Fred Bialy, and Phil and Birgit Aegis, and I was wondering if they were going to be presented this evening too.
I know we have them all set up to be presented on Semblanza. I don't know if we can get any footage of that, Ms. Blanca. Do you think?
For the ones that they have sent to us?
Yes.
No, I don't have it. I only share this for you. Let me share it for you. I found a beautiful performance of all of you. And I said, we got to share this with our audience. So let me share this, but let me know if there is a name specific. I can find it in YouTube, and so we can share it with us. Hold on 1 second. Let me share this. And here we go. Let me see. So I love this one. It looks really beautiful.
love all the banners.
Uh-huh.
Wow, that was beautiful. I just wanted
Beautiful.
to.
I always love that music.
It is so honestly, we have a lot of kind of mystical dances in Mexico. You know that evokes you to think about the beauty of the simplicity of the movements, and it's so well, taken that you've driven us to this beautiful magical story. So it's so beautiful. Honestly, last night when I was watching several videos, this one particular moved my soul because as simple as it is, I can feel your essence in the stage, like so concentrated with that respect and honor to
Mhm.
you. So that was beautiful.
I noticed that too. It was
Yes.
very stoic and emotional, invoking. Can any of you speak on what we just witnessed? Is it a wedding song? Is it some sort of ritual? What's the story behind that dance and the choreography? Because it's so rigid, so straight.
Yeah.
Um, It's not necessarily anything mystical or anything else, but throughout Europe, peasants would often imitate court dances, the royalty,
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
and where that the court dances are very precise, like you're seeing
Yes.
there,
Yes.
but these are imitation of court dances. Of course, the peasants
Oh.
go further on, fun of court dances throughout. Again, you'll find it spread throughout Europe, but peasant dances are quite different. This to me is a more formal type of
Yeah.
dance.
I mentioned it's
Mhm.
We were just talking about the fact that it's an example of a Finnish style of dancing. It's
Oh.
It's for Finland, yes.
And how beautiful. And I noticed the um, gymnasium was decorated with these beautiful banners. Was that also from Finland?
Those banners were from, that was an international folk dance festival that happened.
Festival. Okay.
And all of those banners were made by different individuals. Some of them were comic, some of them were very formal banners, all kinds of different things.
Oh.
So some of those banners represented different Scandinavian. No, it wasn't just Scandinavia. All different folk dance countries, and some of them, like there was a frog or flowers or stuff. So it was very fun visually to actually be there and look at all of those different banners. And they were all handmade by different folk dancers.
That's
They were
wonderful.
yeah, everything was beautiful.
Mhm.
And when was that? Was that
That
recent?
festival is generally every February, kind of close to Valentine's Day, and it takes
Okay.
place over a weekend, like Thursday, Friday, Saturday,
Yes.
Sunday, right? Yeah, it's a 4-day festival.
Uh-huh.
Generally. And then on the Sunday, they have this exhibition where they have performance dances, and that's what you saw of us. We were part of the performance part of it. But the rest of the weekend is learning dancers. They bring in teachers from all over different
Oh, okay.
classes to learn dances at this festival.
Oh, and does it still happen?
Well,
Yes, not
Oh.
with COVID, but
well, we did have it in February. That was like our last performance before everything went down. So
Oh, wow.
we'll do it this year.
And where does it take place?
well, it started out in Laguna Beach, and now it's wherever they can find a venue that's affordable.
It used to be at Laguna Beach High School in their gymnasium, but I think what happened is they got flooded out, and then when they rebuilt the high school, they said we're not a venue for you anymore. So it's jumped around. But that particular was that one at Laguna Beach?
No,
that one was
That Newport?
the Newport one.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's been at a middle school in Newport Beach. The most recent one is in a clubhouse in Laguna Woods.
Okay.
Okay.
That's not far. So it's like almost like the weekend of President's Day weekend type of thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right around there. Yes.
It
Yeah.
Valentine's celebration.
Yes.
Oh, that should be fun, and we should all put that in our date books and find out.
Yeah, I would love to go and participate.
Yeah.
Or at least see you guys perform.
Yeah, this
Go
one
ahead,
is,
Kathy.
this one I'm going to share with you is a more vivid dance, and I want
Okay.
you to enjoy it with me. This is
Oh, same place. Okay, yeah.
yes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, good job. Oh, that's beautiful. You're breaking free.
Wow.
Bravo.
Bravo. Wow.
That was
I
a
love
real
it.
party. Yes, go
Wow.
ahead, Miss Kathy.
Again, you've chosen a Finnish dance. I love this. Yes, their dances are fabulous. The music and the dance and everything.
Uh-huh.
So wonderful. I mean, not that Sweden isn't, okay? It's different. It's different.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I think your director, do you want to put that up? Miss Blanca, can you get Miss Stephanie Holtzman? She has a
Yes.
little bit more information up there,
Yes, of
so we
course.
can read it.
Here, but this is the first comment.
Oh,
You
okay.
want to read it, Miss Amanda?
Yeah.
Amanda,
That's beautiful.
Amanda, do you want to read it?
Oh, Stephanie Holtzman says, I have not one drop of Scandinavian blood. I'm just a wannabe
Ah,
and a true lover. I love it.
Yes.
This is a very old dance.
Yeah. Stephanie would
Finland.
be able to tell us information about it because she knows so much. Yeah.
Yeah. And then one more, the next one, Miss Blanca. There
She
should be
said
able-
it's from Finland, and then here she says,
There
go
it
ahead.
is. Go ahead, Mandy.
Hang on.
Okay, so this one, which we just finished watching, was recently choreographed by two of the most outstanding choreographers of Finland. It's called the Hangover Dance. I don't know if I could ever dance being hungover like that because you guys were exquisite, just beautiful. There you go, Sam Cortez, so cool, beautiful traditions. It was wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you need to bring that one back to yes, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And the influences of the quadrilles and from Mexico. That one you should need, I think, for Semblanza next year. I think that would be great. As talent coordinator, I'm thinking that one would be great.
That one was so much fun. Now, is there any further story behind that dance?
Well, the whole story about the hangover dance is that if you have a hangover, you can't do that dance. So that's why.
And that's all she wrote. I love that.
It's beautiful. It was really fun to watch. I loved it. And the choreography was just amazing. How you broke out and stuff. That's just great. Yes, Miss Jane.
While we were watching it, Kathy reminded to me that sometimes you'll see women dancing together, and that was really common because when the men went off to war, sometimes there weren't enough men hanging around to dance with, so the women would dance together because they wanted to dance,
Right.
and at these folk events and stuff. So that's actually very ethnically correct for women to be dancing together.
And if this one, is this dance also from Finland?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Because, you know, it has the rhythm of polka. We call it polka.
Yeah.
In Mexico, in the northern part of Mexico, we call it polka. And people use this kind of the same, you know, the heel, toe, and slide, you know, the chassé. So we do those steps, and I think we kind of stole those from you. Because we do it's type of a square dancing, right? That you have the formations of the couples by fours and then by groups and then divided, and it is so beautiful. I remember the one you also performed in Semblanza 2014. It was very complicated, the formation of the choreography.
Yeah. The one was a weaving dance from Sweden, and the different formations in it were to represent the different parts of weaving fabric. So the couples were going in between each other and stuff. Yes, it was quite complicated. Yeah.
That was a dance, like a lot of the older dances in Norway and Sweden. They're based on an occupation. And what they're talking about is Viva Vadmals, and there's still a YouTube for Southern California dancers that has it Viva Vadmals, and that's what we did there at Semblanza. But it's based on occupation, and that's the unique thing about it is. But again, these are choreographed dances. But when you get into, as you were talking about, the polska. It's really from Polska, which is Poland, and it has permeated the Scandinavian countries with the Poles, with the Polskas, and there's all different types of tempos and speeds and figures that belong to all of these. And that's an incredibly rich, big family of dances.
It's Baba Baldman?
Viva Vadmal.
Can you spell it?
Vavadal.
Oh, yeah, I can see it.
Vadmal.
Yeah, I think I found it, and let's share a little bit. Is that okay with you if we share? I mean, this is beautiful. Hold on, let's share it.
I was in my 20s in this one, if that's the one, I think.
Yeah, we were a little bit younger.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, Viva Vadmal. Oh, I know you.
Yeah, mine wasn't so hard to figure out.
Bravo. That was so beautiful.
Thank you.
That's an interesting dance because it's an example of all of the things that have to happen, the weaving and the rolling up of the fabric, and we made a mistake, so we had to unwind, and do it again. That's what it's all about.
That was incredible. It was hypnotizing and mesmerizing.
I enjoyed it.
And as a dancer and a dance teacher, how does one go about teaching that choreography and learning that choreography? Because I can't get my dance babies, to get in 2 lines, let alone all of that wonderful intricacy. So how is that experience?
No different than this group. It's just lots of repetition.
Yeah.
So Stephanie, our director, has a method where she teaches there are sections to that dance. Like where you're doing this part, you're doing that part, you're doing that part. And so you kind of have to remember them in order. But she has a method where she teaches the last part first, and then adds the next part before that, and we do it, and the next part before that. So by the time you get to the beginning, you haven't forgotten the end because you've done it so many times. Mm-hmm. And that method works. Sometimes it's a little frustrating, but it works really well. So you learn it and then the parts that you have trouble with, you work on those. And
Stephanie, I'm going to steal that from you because that is genius. Go ahead, Norman.
Particular choreography and performances when Donna Tripp was the director, she started. But one of the things that we find that is common with all our dancers, we help each other.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, everybody goes through these mental slips, and it's the tiniest little bit of clue, and you're right there back on track.
And for answering,
thank you, Stephanie.
for instance, like when you're doing a chain, maybe the part that's next is the part that everyone forgets. And so as you're going through the chain, everyone's going, this is next, you know.
We'll talk to
And
you.
so we're talking to each other on the way so that everybody remembers. So yeah, he's absolutely right. We help each other through. Yeah.
I think that's. I think you gave away a secret for all dancers, because
Mhm.
I know. Yeah.
Well, and then another point with Scandia dancers, with the exception of our kids, Norman and my kids, we're all like over 50. So, so the part about getting the babies to line up, it's not to get the adults to line up too because they want to talk, but but I think it's still a little bit easier than getting young ones to do that. Yeah.
Miss Blanca.
I have a question. So, have you ever performed, and probably not very close, but for an audience who is the first time they're seeing a dance like this, and they are from Scandia, and they feel like, thank you for bringing this to us. So, do you have an experience like that to perform in a place where people will come to you and said, you know, I haven't been back to my country for so long, and this is so beautiful, because I think those are one of the main reasons why we're doing this, right? Not just to keep our culture alive, but also to bring that to the people who are here from those countries and haven't been able to go back to their country.
Yeah.
So,
Is at the Cal Lutheran College or University in Falcon Oaks, they have a year festival, Scandinavian festival, and where we have performed for the Lord knows 30 years. And yes, that happens there. There's also a different group, the Swedish group, the Vasa group, that has Vasa bars. They perform, and oftentimes we have people, visitors from Sweden, who are really appreciative of seeing the dances again, but here in the United States rather than in Sweden.
And another thing we have done is a lot of people have heard of Sons of Norway. They have lodges, and we've been invited to perform at their lodges, and so the same thing will happen there. There are people who are of Norwegian descent that are really happy to see. And then Norman and I are also members of Vasa Lodge, which is sort of like Sons of Norway, but it's Swedish. And the same thing can happen there also. People who have been here for a long time, haven't seen the dances for a long time, look forward to when we're there so they can see them again. And also a lot of times at these performances, at the end of we'll invite the audience to come and join us in a simpler dance, you know, that they can handle. So we try to get the audience up on their feet and dancing with us as well.
Yeah. There's also, if you guys remember, it's been quite some time, when IKEA first started coming here, they had us perform either in the store or out in front, you know, when people are coming stuff. And yes, that kind of thing will happen where it surprises people who've never seen this, and then also people who are coming to IKEA because they're Swedish and that's the store. You know, and I'm sure that kind of thing happened all the time too.
And we would perform there around Christmas time and around midsummer. And midsummer is a really important holiday in the Scandinavian countries. So we would do both of those times at IKEA when they first opened.
Wow.
What's interesting to note is that if you go to Sweden, a lot of people dance. You go to Mexico, a lot of people dance. You come to America, the men don't dance.
Yes.
The key for the teacher there is when we do our, you know, lodges and so forth, get people up, is we emphasize have fun because nobody is looking at your feet. They're working on their own.
Right.
So, and you laugh, you make it funny, and all of a sudden you've got guys who've never danced before having the time of their lives. And that's how, well, I'm sorry, that's how we try to break the American culture down, to dance, image it down. Men can dance.
that's true.
That's true, and we need a lot more of those.
Yeah.
We need a lot more men dancing. Yes.
That's how you get the girl, men. That's how you get the girl.
Like Norman. You
Yes.
look at Norman. He got Jane.
Yeah.
Take Norman and Jane's story. Yeah,
daughters,
absolutely.
we're outnumbered.
Absolutely. Can I ask, is there any place nearby, I don't know, like Solvang up by Santa Barbara, maybe, for any of us to experience some of your festivals, some of the Nordic festivals?
There is, but everything's shut down right now. Of course, we don't know when we're going to be back dancing again. We used to dance in Solvang. Another place, well, this isn't the Scandia dancers though. Norman and I are also, we're actually the directors of a different dance group that's basically all Swedish. Sometimes we throw in another Nordic dance, but mostly we do all Swedish. And we dance in Agura Hills. And it's at a park that's been owned by the Vasa Parks Association for 70 years. And they have a midsummer festival out there, and they have a springtime festival and stuff, and we dance at those. But like I said, there was supposed to be one in October, but it's been canceled.
Right.
And we missed midsummer being canceled.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I have a question because Norman mentioned that all this, the buttons that he's wearing are from competitions or are from where are those competitions held? Here in California or in your country?
Most of them are here in California. Some have died out because the folk dance, is diminishing. Several are from Sweden. We've been over there competing 5 different times, so we get lots of mileage.
At the Scandinavian Days Festival at Cal Lutheran University in Thousand Oaks, there used to be a humble contest there. They still have that festival, but they don't have the humble contest anymore. So some of his pins from that contest. And then there's a Scandinavian festival in Kingsburg. If you're familiar with that, it's about half an hour south of Fresno. Kingsburg is a Swedish community, similar to how Solvang is a Danish community. And Kingsburg has a Swedish festival every summer, which also was canceled this year. And when they first started having that, they had a little humble contest too, but they don't have it anymore. So some of his pins are from Kingsburg, some are from Thousand Oaks, and some are from Sweden.
So what about the ones from Sweden? Were they surprised that you flying from America and then you win?
Not exactly surprised. Go ahead.
We attended there in 1987, at 88, 90, 2003, 2006. But what's interesting is in the 1987, 1988 competitions, there was 1,500 couples competing. You would see literally a mile of dancers.
Wow.
And
oh my gosh.
in 1990, it was down to 1,200 couples, but it has since dwindled down to about 200 now.
But how they managed that, how they managed having 1,500 couples was there were 4 different venues where the competition took place. And you'd get up in the dark practically and stand at the side of the road, and you're wearing your folk costume so they knew you were part of the event, and buses came by and you climb on a bus and they took you to the first venue, which was out in a cow pasture. And it was huge. You danced in huge circles in this cow pasture. So it was uphill and downhill and divots and stuff. It was very challenging. We were a lot younger then, had a lot better knees at that time. And then other things were going on at the same time because they didn't have all 1,500 people dancing at the same time. It was like maybe
100 couples at a time.
100 couples at a time, and they had 2 rings, so 50 in one ring, 50 in another, and there were different judges for each of those rings. And then other stuff that was going on, they had a place where there were performances. They brought in other folk dancers from different countries so that you could get a view of other stuff that was going on. And there was also a meal there that if you were part of the competition, you had a meal ticket. So you went in line to get your meal and stuff. And then when that was all over, climb back on the bus and they take you to the next venue.
Okay.
And the next venue was on a soccer field. And kind of the same thing happened there. Not everybody danced at the same time. And then same thing, get back on the bus, go to the next venue. And the next venue was on an asphalt street. And at the very end of it, the street started to incline. So and I think it was a half a mile long. Is that right? I think the course was a half mile long. And at the end of it, it started going uphill. And it was super, I can hardly breathe just thinking about it. It was super challenging. And I've got this super fair skin, so my face would be beet red by the end. But it was also really fun. I mean, I was a lot younger. I'm sure I couldn't even do it now.
What was interesting in the town of Arborough, that on the street, you have this long stretch where you start evening out your dance step. You are just very precise. And then you hit the slow upgrade and it changes your timing. And that's what the judges are looking for, of how adaptable you are. And it continues to increase in the angle. And you end up going through a little bridge. And it's interesting to see the people and their composure, their strength, their energy, their happiness, as they pass through the bridge, they collapse.
Because that was the end line.
It is, and this is during the heat of the day.
It's not a
it was an incredibly wonderful experience. And as you see, this costume that I'm wearing is, I would see fellow dancers, several of them, had the same costume. I knew they were from the same area. And that's the uniqueness of the 420 different style of costumes found throughout Sweden, is they are distinct in their locality. Yeah. And we went to the fourth, and then the fourth dance is the top 100. They are selected out, and then they go into on wood stage and they dance, and then the final 10 are selected.
So we didn't quite answer your question. Were they surprised to see us? Not really. We weren't the only Americans there. I think there was only about 7 American couples there, but there were a few other couples that were not Swedish or Norwegian. Most of them were Swedish. Yeah. And then I'd say the next quantity would have been Norwegian, and then I don't know after that, but there were a few from Germany and a few other places like that too. And yeah, it was lots of fun. We did not make the 100 cut, but we weren't too bad. We were 300 and something. We were pretty proud of ourselves.
We ended up in the upper 80th percentile, but understand that we practice and listen to the music 1,000 hours before we went to Sweden. Wow. So the music was ingrained in our body, our emotions, our soul words. The only thing we didn't really understand was the terrain. And one year that we went,
the first year,
there was so much rain prior, they had to cancel it, because if you danced on the grass in the cow pasture, you'd sink into your ankles.
They didn't cancel the event. They canceled the cow pasture one. So we danced on the soccer field twice. That's, yeah.
But again, it's a tremendous experience. And the second time in 1988, we got married the day after. So we're known as the Helsing Humble wedding couple.
That's
small.
What I really want to highlight about all your stories that you've told tonight is the sense of community, both, from here and abroad, and the multi-generational thing. It's really, truly a family and a melting pot of tradition, and it's beautiful that you're keeping it alive.
Well, we're trying to.
Well, you're doing it very beautifully.
Well, that's
all right, everyone. Yes, Ms. Blanca.
Well, I have one more question. I know we're about to wrap. And I'm very, very happy that you guys are part of Semblanza 2020 once again, because I know, like Samuel Cortez, he was right here commenting, and he was saying that it's so cool, beautiful. He's an amazing dance instructor from Mexico. and other people from different countries are, are watching and taking in consideration that, wow, this is so beautiful. Now we know a little bit more about Finland and, and the dances from your countries. And it's so beautiful that Semblanza goal is for all of us to know each other through our dance. So one last question before we leave, and I don't know if Ms. Amanda has a question, but this is my question. I don't know if people have ever asked you, why are you still doing this? When are you gonna stop? So what is hope for you in your life?
Why we're still doing it is because we love it. We love the music, and one of our goals is to try to spread it. So, like Norm's having issues with his knees. I'm having issues with my weight. I need to lose. And we're all getting older. So yeah, it's getting harder, and that does affect which dances we do. Some dances that we used to be able to do that had a lot of jumping and stuff, like my knees won't take that. I can't do that anymore. But we're also, by going to these different lodges, we're trying to encourage people to join us. And I guess we're thinking that our first line of attack is with the people of Scandinavian ancestry, that they might be interested in learning something about their heritage, but we are not exclusive, obviously. And everyone is welcome to join us. And we're trying to keep folk dance alive, because there's so many more choices for people now than there were in the old days, when folk dance might have been almost the only entertainment. Now it has to fight with so many other activities that it's hard to get membership.
That question that you asked about why do people ask us that? They ask us that all the time because of this same thing where people feel that young people are in dance groups, they dance, that's that. Then you grow up and you don't do it anymore. But we are kind of this strange group of people who want to keep dancing. When we were in Finland at a festival, we were in the newspaper, as a matter of fact, spotlighted because we were the very strange Americans who were obviously elderly, or not elderly, but old, older. They were not teenagers. And especially Finnish dancing is very vigorous, active. Yes, all of those things. But we loved it so much. And so some of the members of our group were in this newspaper with that very question: why are you still dancing?
Well, the dancing is if you ever run across in couple dances, which a lot of Scandinavian is couple. It's not the choreographed and set dances, but it's just the old tradition is you would dance on top of the trap door inside of a house, and the other people would wait around the room to have their turn. So it was only one couple dancing at a time, and they had a very small, 4 foot by 4 foot square area that they danced in that did all these tricks. I mean, we're talking a couple hundred years ago. And now with all this extra room, you can do so much more. But again, when you go to Sweden, which we've done, and we've danced in nightclubs, it is crowded as packed as sardines in a can. And nobody cares. They have fun. They just plain have fun.
Because there are some dances you can dance in the spot where you don't need any floor space. You can, just the space for the two people, you can dance right there. And you're just going around each other. So yeah, if you're packed tight, you pick your style of how you're dancing. Yeah.
But
You fight for your space too.
Yeah.
the one thing that is the holy grail in my book is that when you find a partner and both of you can read each other's moves, is like being in heaven.
It's poetry and movement.
Yes.
It's magic.
It's more than that. It is more than that.
It elevates it to dance,
It
not
is.
just executing steps.
Yeah, you're just in a different plateau, and that doesn't happen very often. So it's like a perpetual search. What's the guy who tilted at windmills?
Oh, Don Quixote.
Don Quixote, you're always looking for that special moment. And I can think back to several really special moments, and I don't forget them.
These two right here, if you see them dance together, it's beautiful. So they got that.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, it becomes more than just doing the dance right. They actually are dancing.
One other thing that I wanted to comment is that from my experience in international folk dance and doing Romanian dance and Hungarian dance and all these different things, pay attention to the embroidery that the women do. You will find Yugoslavia has different areas, beautiful embroidery. Hungarian, beautiful embroidery. And they all have their unique
Style.
just beauty to it. And once I was privileged to look at a skirt for a young Hungarian girl. It had over 3,000 hand embroidered roses on the skirt. Those are the things that if you're not aware of, you miss, and you miss the beauty. When you take a look at Sweden, there's that not as much embroidery, but the weaving takes it the place of the weaving. You go to Norway and you will again look back at the weaving and at the embroidery and the silverwork.
And the silver, I was going to say.
So, every country has its incredibly rich and diverse background in the dance, and it is the unfortunate thing that the common person out there knows less than 10% of what you know. That's just, why is it? To me, it's beauty, and it's not politics.
That's beautiful. So we're going to challenge all of our viewers right now to go go search and find that embroidery and those traditions and do research on those embroideries and the craftsmanship. And I really appreciate these beautiful artisans and these craftsmanships. In your own cultures and different cultures, go search and find, viewers. Go ahead, Mr. Norman.
To go back to an earlier question, give us a call, because we can link you up with a whole list of different dance groups throughout Southern California and Northern California. And it's just a matter of, these are subcultures. So you need somebody inside the subculture in order to link out. So we can do that for you.
So
Absolutely.
I
love it.
When we get back to dancing, we're hoping to see you at some of our events.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. I will definitely be there.
Yeah.
Well, you
Get her in dance class.
Yes.
When you got Swedish by that time?
All right. I want to thank each and every one of you for participating. Ms. Blanca, would you like to take us out for the evening?
Yes, well, I just want to say that, whoever wants to contact them also, just search for the group is Scandian Dancers of Southern California. So make sure to look for them. And like you said, Norman and Kathy and Jane, you don't need to be born in those countries. They're going to make sure that the love for the passion for the tradition is born within you, because they're going to help you to lead the culture with them. So it's so beautiful what you guys are doing. And my heart is just feels so blessed to have you part of Semblanza 2020. And hopefully in 2021, we're going to have a beautiful performance of the Scandian Dancers of Southern California. So thank you so much. And I know someone, K.R. Gerardo is saying, he's our artistic director, he's in the city of Mexico. Thank you. We appreciate your cultural apportation to Semblanza 2020. Apportation means like...
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Yes.
Thank you, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Good night.
Bye.
Good night.
Let's say Viva Scandian Dancers of Southern California. Yes.
Hey.
Viva!
How do you say in your language? Join us October 17 and 18.
Velkommen.
Willkommen works. I can say quitos, thank you, in Finnish. Yeah.
We say welcome, ¿verdad?
Yeah.
Välkommen.